who's behind it, like visually too. So I think is really really loving that you are around. Once again, we love hosting you and having you in the AMA. So Jacob, once again, welcome to AMA Central. We're very happy to have you around, of course.
Well, thank you for having me back. This is I think the third time, and it seems like every time that we talk, we dive a little bit deeper into kind of the real mechanism of what we got here, and I'm excited about that because there's so much to share, and there's so much going on that it's important that we get that out there and people can hear it firsthand. But I know, as you always say, you need to start level setting. You need to say, okay, so what is this project and what does it do, and all of that. And that's extremely important. But I'm pretty excited to just talk about the future stuff.
Correct. We're going to just do, as always, a little introduction that's going to be super fast this time. Try to just narrow it down to like 5-10 minutes of an introduction about you and the project. Of course, there might be people that have never seen you before, and I'm sure they want to know about you. So once again, Pro Cole back in, Jacob Beckley, welcome to AMA Central, owner and CEO and founder, of course, of Cure Token. As of now, one of the tokens we've loved the most to have around here for the progress, growth, and also for the transparency that is bringing. Jacob's literally, I would say, bringing good quality business to DeFi and mostly to BSC, which is hard to see. I'm not gonna lie. 80-90% of tokens out there are just pure meme tokens, no real business based. So we're so happy to talk to a professional person like Jacob. And I'm not gonna lie, I always learn a lot from Jacob too. So that's so lovely. Jacob, once again, we love having you around. And tell us a little about you and Cure Token.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Jake Beckley. My day job, actually, this isn't my day job, believe it or not, even though it's 24 hours a day. My day job is elsewhere. I earn my income elsewhere. And I'm the executive vice president of innovation and technology for an innovation agency in Chicago. And I think that's what kind of brought me into the BSC space and brought me into, Cure Token in general. But I work my day job. I started a foundation for pediatric cancer research and awareness in 2016 and raised over $1 million doing that through a variety of different events and fundraisers. And it's been very successful. And when the pandemic hit, everything kind of collapsed on top of each other. We weren't able to raise money. We couldn't do our traditional fundraising efforts, and we had to pivot. And being in technology and innovation, I felt the natural pivot was to go into crypto, and then stumbled upon the BSC space, which I was never exposed to, and the rest is history. It's been a ups and downs of a ride, but it's been a great ride in general. And I love the space. I think that this is a good community of people who are out to do good. Everybody's out to make money, obviously, number one and first and foremost. But we've been able to tap into that, and I think allow and enable people to do that while also doing good, and that's what this project's about.
One thing I wanted to cover is when you see Cure, you might literally stumble upon a project that looks like a mere charity project. And one thing that I like to highlight prior to talking about charity which is great, when charity is done well, it is so loving, and it literally teaches us so much about caring about others, and literally, if you have more, then why not give to others? But it is so important to mention that the research and development that you guys are bringing into the medical industry and medicine is, in my opinion, a lot stronger than talking about charity in regards to Cure. So if you want to dive in a little deeper in that.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought up the charity aspect. There's BSC space is flooded with meme projects and memes, like dogs and spaceships and monkeys. But at the end of the day, there's some good valuable projects out there, and there's a lot, and I can't name all of them, but there's a lot of good ones, and I'm just pleased and thankful to be a part of that community of the projects that are out here for authentic reasons and trying to do good. Being a charity project as well is a difficult thing to do in BSC. There's a lot of scams out there, tons of scams in the charity sector, and I didn't know this going into the project. I thought, I guess short-sighted, but I thought I was one of the only charity projects out there. But there's a lot, and they're not video docs, they're not KYC, they don't do audits. It's a quick pump and dump. They just want to pull at people's heartstrings, exploit people's emotions, and then get the outcome that they're desiring. And we've approached this differently. I think the fact that we have a foundation first, is a big differentiator. We didn't just start a project and say, let's go find a charity that we can support through our initiative. This was a foundation that needed to innovate, needed to pivot, or else we would have become obsolete. And this was that point in time when we had to do something, and that's why we found cryptocurrency and the BSC space. But there's just an immense amount of stuff happening all over the place from a technology perspective. I hope we can dive into that. I'd love to start now. There's just an immense amount. We've been doing the usual types of things that all projects do. You create yourselves, you build a community, you get over 5,000 holders, you get listed on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, you do all of the usual things. But then eventually you get to a point where you've done it all and you start to go down in a downward trend. And the projects that survive that are the ones that have a real future, the ones that have a real utility. And they develop it during that downtime, and that's what we've been doing. So it's cool. We've been doing so many charity drops. We've been doing technology building for the future. And most of my day now is comprised of speaking with researchers, blockchain experts in the field of blockchain and future NFT development. But just that's where my time's consumed, because we're developing some real impactful inroads for not just pediatric cancer and cure, but for everything. I mean, we're talking about some real groundbreaking technology that we're looking at being the foundation for all future development that has anything to do with healthcare and research, and being that middle layer of the blockchain. And we got some pretty key people that are coming on board now. Pretty excited about, because these are leaders in the space, and we're having some real thoughtful conversations on how we can change things up, develop Cure to become a significant player in the blockchain community. And I think we're doing it all right. We're bringing the right people, the right team, assembling, having the right conversations, and things are heading in that great direction. So I'm just really excited about all the things that are happening towards that future, because that future isn't, a week out or 30 days out. It's going to be longer, but that future is going to be so rewarding for the holders of Cure, because they're going to be a part of it so early on. And I'm super excited about that future state. And that's just where my mind lives, is how are we going to develop this thing to become the next one of the next big cryptos? And I really think we have a good roadmap for that.
Yes, we do. The thing is, one thing that I want people to stick to with Cure Token is the fact that you're not reading a roadmap that has been written carelessly just to create hype. Now, that roadmap has been literally drafted and written in such a way that it is organizedly achievable right now. Jacob is making sure and constantly adding to it. I think, since he launched, he's added so many things that he didn't really write in that roadmap that have even given more value to Cure Token. As I mentioned in the text I wrote to welcome you, you are literally at 1,000% up since we met the first time, which is, is easy to say, but not easy to do, for a token as big as Cure, because honestly, liquidity wise, you guys have a good, base. It's not an empty token with no liquidity and a super, crazy liquidity market cap ratio. The ratio is pretty fair. I'm going to say And I want to dive into the things that you're doing because it's insane the time that you're spending. I want to say, Jacob, how are you managing? Did you take this as a full-time job as of now? Like, are you literally fully focused on Cure?
I am 100% focused. Yeah, and I think you have to be in order to run a successful project. I didn't know that it was going to be this demanding. Honestly, I really thought that that I'd, develop this, launch it, and then go off and do my day job, and this would just run itself. That hasn't been the case. We've had to, and the best part about all of this is that the company I work for, I'm partners in that company, and they've enabled this, and they've allowed it, and they've encouraged it, and they believe in it just as much as I do. That this is, for not just not just for people to make money, but really for the future state of the world. They really believe it, so they're supporting me and full backing me and encouraging me to continue, which is great because it is very demanding, as anyone in this space knows. But we are doing a lot of progressive stuff, and it seems like things are changing on a daily, weekly basis, and that roadmap is getting so further defined and refined. I think initially our roadmap had like probably 6 bullet points in it. It was do this, do CoinGecko, Coin Market Cap, and that's kind of where it ended. And now we have so many real concrete things in our roadmap that that a lot of projects don't ever get to. They can't even think through because they're not at that scale or at that point. And we're only 2 months old. But I think that's a testament to the community. I mean, they're providing so much input and feedback and helping direct where this project goes. So, for example, we have some things that are currently about to get released that I don't think a project that 2 months old would even consider. One of which is on-site staking, which staking has been the big buzzword. Everybody wants staking. Everybody wants to earn some sort of passive income or APY for holding their tokens, not just reflections, which is part of the tokenomics. And we reached out to so many different groups. PancakeSwap, Fedge. There's a couple that have responded, a couple that are actually working on staking, but we wanted to get there faster. And I think that's the important thing, is the faster part of that. So we've been developing our own staking engine and are very close to releasing it. And this is going to, not just be a traditional staking. It's not going to have the same thing as everybody else. We're actually putting some twists in there to make it more innovative, more cutting edge, and more valuable to the holders. And we're looking to release that very shortly. The timetable was December 1st, which is actually next week. But I think we might be at pace to do it a bit earlier. One thing that may slow it down is we don't want to release it without an audit, because I want to ensure the safety of the community. Since you do have to connect your wallet, I want to make sure all of this is audited in a way that doesn't cause any issues or people feel like afraid of doing. I want to make sure all of that's eliminated. So that could be the barrier, but regardless of the audit, I think we're still at pace for December 1st launch.
Sounds insane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one thing I want to talk about really is about the utility that you're bringing, and how well you are taking advantage of the technology that DeFi has developed in order to apply it to a field that is really in need of. We talked about it previously. I don't want to dive in too deep because this is something we've mentioned in both AMAs we've had, as well as this is the third AMA we have, guys. Just so you know, Jacob has been here 3 times already with this one. But Jacob, one of the things I want to talk about is how do NFTs play a very important role in the medicine industry for data storage and stuff like that. If you could please do like a brief summary of that, because I think a lot of people here, we have 121 people, so probably a lot of people right now are wondering what do NFTs have to do with medicine, but it's huge, to be honest.
It is, and this is where people don't have enough information yet. I don't think it's become as mainstream as it should be. But when we think of NFTs today, we think of the monkey 8-bit graphics and the spinning logos and all that kind of stuff. And the reality of it is an NFT is nothing more. I mean, that's the visual side of it, but it's nothing more than a smart contract that's in a blockchain. And those smart contracts have the ability to be uber and ultra dynamic. So you can have all sorts of of technical logic, business logic, all inside wrapped into those smart contracts. And what the new thing is looking at NFTs from a data perspective rather than a visual. And then the second piece of that is stop looking at it at just the data perspective, but as a dynamic data entity. And that's where we're taking this into the healthcare industry. And we're not the first to ever bring blockchain tech to healthcare. There's a lot of companies, even governments, that have tried to do it, and none of it's been really successful. I can go off for an hour on why not, but I've solved that as far as what we can do to be successful. But not a lot of people have really applied NFT tech, and nobody has applied dynamic NFT tech to healthcare. And that's going to be one of our biggest differentiators, is that through the power of dynamic NFTs, we will be able to append over time more and more data to the existing single entity of the NFT. And it can be organic. It can be an organism that lives throughout the process for the life cycle of the blockchain. And so I've had several conversations with leaders, like major leaders in the research field, specifically around cancer research, for example. And some of the biggest players, it's been at Rush University, it's been at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, it's been in North Carolina, it's been in other countries. I had conversations with a couple research labs in Puerto Rico, and I'm still looking to meet with more. And what I'm finding is that they all have the exact same challenges, and those challenges can be completely solved through the power of NFTs, and it's just not reached that segment yet. So the other thing is, I've had several conversations with leaders in the blockchain industry, and one of which is Jim Nasser, who you may have heard of, and if you haven't, you should do some research on Jim Nasser. He is one of the biggest leaders in blockchain tech, specifically around healthcare, and he worked for the CDC here in the U.S. for many years as a director of blockchain technologies and how they can adopt it for the medical records, so electronic medical records, EMRs. And the challenges that organizations have and governments is that they try to make these technologies, but they try to monetize it, or they try to commercialize it. That's not what this is about. This isn't about building a data platform, a blockchain, or NFTs in order to make money. This is about doing it to do good, to enable research, to enable progress to occur. And that's why it's so important that it comes from the DeFi space, because the DeFi space is all about disruption. It's about turning things and flipping them on their heads. So that's why this is going to be successful over trying to get it done by US government or CDC or INH or any of these other organizations out there that are well funded and able to do it, but they just can't make it happen because they're approaching it from the wrong perspective and the wrong angle.
100%. That's the good thing about Cure, that it is going to turn slowly into a productive business too, because you can do that, Jacob, and it's worth it to monetize at the end of the day once you bring something that can be useful and productive, not to over monetize it like the medical industry does with everything from medicines all the way to, as you said, even the commercializing private medical records to pharmaceutical companies and laboratories, which is completely unfair to healthcare. But Cure is going to do a lot of good, as well as alongside crypto. I'm one of those strong believers. Even if I'm in crypto for the profits that I make from it and from the benefits, I'm one of these people that I think that if crypto is handled in a good way, it's gonna keep doing good to the economy of the world, saving resources, and a bunch of other things that we could talk about for hours. In regards now, Jacob, to your, let's say, your development so far, you've come so far already, not gonna lie. You have a strong community. You have already been in touch with huge personalities and people in the industry, and now you're even traveling around and trying to meet new people. You're going to Puerto Rico, don't get me wrong.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm going there this coming week. This will be my third trip out there, and each time I go out there, I meet with just more influential people in the communities there. And this time, meeting, I'm really naive here. So I'm not from Latin America. I'm not from Puerto Rico. So I don't quite understand the mainstream culture. But there's an individual whose name is Molusco, who is extremely influential in this generation's technology and just cryptocurrency in general. And having an interview with him on next Friday, but also meeting with other influential people out there that want to become ambassadors of Cure. They believe in the cause, the mission of what we're doing, the purpose of it, but then as well, they think that there's really some value here, and that by spreading the word, people will be able to generate money from it. And I do believe that. Our utility today is simple. It's a charity utility. People get into it hoping to make money. That's not the future state of Cure. That's the short-term state that's going to enable the future state to occur. The future state of Cure is going to be just completely revolutionary in the healthcare and research industry in the crypto space. And that's, again, what excites me the most. But it comes down to these types of encounters, these real world encounters. Not a lot of crypto people will go to a meeting with potential investors or potential influencers and meet them in person. And I'm all about that, because I'm so confident about what we're building here and what that future state looks like, that I want to say that as loud as I can and get people excited about it and get them on board with the project. And that's what we're doing. So that's an important piece of why Cure is different than most projects. This really isn't a meme token where people are hiding behind their computers. This is a project that we're going to the forefront on, and we're going to do everything we can to make this project more valuable for the holders, more valuable in the future. And that's it. I mean, it comes down to the business and connections and networking and relationships, and all of those things come together to really form a business. I mean, Cure, and most projects, they start as a hobby or a meme, or how can we do something real quick and then move on to the next thing and to the next thing. This really is about a business, and it's turning it into an entity that can do a lot of good in the end, backed by the foundation, so that it's nonprofit. We're out to do good, and we're doing it, and people are actually making money in the process, which is the best part. It's like it's a win-win equation for anybody in the BSC space to be able to be as successful as a project as I feel Cure has been and is going to be in the future.
Couldn't agree more with that. The good you do and is insane. Also, once again, one of the things I want to highlight is how well you are developing everything. When you say Molusco, you mean Molusco TV, the YouTuber?
That's correct, yeah. And then also, while out there, there's an individual named Arietta, who is a very significant advocate of cancer research and cancer funding. And he is as well mainstream TV. But I'm trying to get a meeting with him as well, which I think is going to happen. And because I think we have so much in common. My history of my foundational work and what I've done and putting myself out there to raise money, he's doing the same thing every year. And he's a very influential individual as well, and very involved in the crypto community as well. So I think hope that'll work out as well when I'm there.
Sounds great. That sounds brilliant. We covered a lot right now. I want to highlight the fact that you got 50% taxes off right now. So if you guys want to jump in, Thanksgiving, been a nice thing. Thanksgiving means just literally giving to others. So giving you the opportunity right now to get a nice bag of Cure, 50% off, as in taxes. So you are literally saving 50% on the taxes that you should be paying, which is great. That's why we felt like it was a special occasion to actually welcome Cure once again and make sure that we could reach to you and give you the best as always as our investors. Guys, when we say Molusco, most of you probably don't know him because he's Spanish spoken. He's got a huge fan base in South America as well, as in Spain as a country. He's got 1.32 million subscribers. He does all kinds of interviews, and he's super known. So yeah, that's what Jacob's going to be doing. He's traveling to Puerto Rico to meet him. So huge.
Yeah, that will be big for Latin America and the Latin community, and Latin America has been so huge for Cure. Our holder base is prominently from Latin American regions, and that's great for a project. And we haven't even tapped into some of the biggest markets yet. Asia market, for example. And I know that once that happens, this project is just going to exponentially increase again. But we got all the right makings of things going on right now, and the right foundation. I mean, I don't even think I mentioned last time, but we got a new CERTIC audit. I mean, we're doing everything we can to make this project have the right grounding, so that we have the right foundation to build off of. And there's not much more that we can do from a grounding perspective. I mean, this project has everything, everything at the end of the day. And that's why we're focused so much on new technology now. Like, what are the additives that we can provide to the community to create more value? Because we've overcome all of the other stuff that everybody does, and now we're in a really good position that we're just building a lot more tech now, and some really cool tech as well.
Insane, yeah. Right. I think there's a lot to offer still. Literally sitting right now at like 30 million market cap,
Is it?
which is for some of you might feel like is a high price, but with the potential of Cure, you're honestly buying super early. One thing I
Well,
want
put that in perspective real quick. That we just went up to that in a 24-hour period. I think we were sitting at 10 million yesterday. I mean, we've had such a massive spike in the past 24 to 36 hours, and it's come from a variety of different methods. But we are on such an upward swing. And what is that? I think some people were saying that they would 6x their money in a 48-hour period or something like that. I think we hit 2 cents,
to
2 cents something the other day. What are we at now? Yeah, so 50. Okay, it's 1.5 or something like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good investment in a few hours here.
Sounds insane. Yeah, I mean, one thing I wanted to say is that crypto is so young, BSC is so young. The projects that are going to survive in long term are projects that are bringing utility, first of all, but also, they are bringing future into other fields that are a lot more traditional and require new technologies to be applied to, which is the medicine industry, which is, literally, at least in the USA, is controlled by literally a lobby of people that have so much power. Is crazy. Private healthcare has so much power in the USA. Is I would say one of the biggest businesses, right, as of now, Jacob.
Yeah, it is one of the biggest, unfortunately. It used to be the financial institutions. They used to rule the world, and I think we've proven that through decentralization, through DeFi, that got flipped on its head. I mean, it really did. And now financial institutions are racing to get involved in it, because if they feel they don't, they're going to become obsolete. And that is the exact same thing that's going to happen in the healthcare industry. And this isn't just a U.S. issue; it's a worldwide issue. The health insurance providers are reaching out of the U.S. into other countries as supplemental insurance and all these other things. I mean, it's a land grab, it's a money grab. But we're not looking to stop that. We're not looking to go against it. We're looking to provide an alternative, and an alternative from the ground up that eventually maybe will disrupt healthcare. But we're not starting that movement. We're just going to help ignite it a little bit and participate in it. And I think that's a valuable position to be in. I think be at that cutting edge of that, from that movement occurring. I think Cure has started to become the poster child of that entire movement. And I never intended that to happen. I was just hoping to make $200 or $300 a day for the foundation in taxes, and now, we're doing so much other stuff, so much good. We're having those types of conversations about disruption in healthcare. We're having the conversations about enabling research. Before, my foundation would have just funded research and put money into a black hole and not known, well, what did they do, and what did they do with that money, and where did it go? And now we're actually driving the process. and enabling researchers to come on board, which is a completely different dynamic, a completely different spot to be in that I never thought I would be in. I never thought Cure would be in, but I know Cure and myself are the most well-suited people that I know personally. So to do that and to make that happen, from my experiences throughout life and just just everything that's kind of come together, I feel that we're going to have such an impactful change in the world because of Cure. At the end of the day, it's all because of Cure.
Lovely, lovely. I think it's pretty much all said. Things we wanted to cover. If there is anything regarding, short-term cure that you want to bring up, or that you want to share with our investors, it's all yours, Jacob. You're at home right now. AMA Central is your home. So
I do feel at home here. I really do. I feel like every time I come here, that, as I said, we get deeper into the conversation, and that's what matters to me. I mean, I could show a token, I could tell you about tokenomics and all that, but you can see I'm passionate about where this is going, and but at the same time, we have to talk about what's coming up, because that's what's important to investors. I mean, coming up, we have a lot. This week, starting actually in a couple hours here, I think 2 hours, we are decreasing our tokenomics by 50%, and the goal there is to build awareness about our project. And this is one great way to do it. So we're all over social media, Reddit, Telegram, Twitter, everything, preaching this message. We're 50% off tokenomics for Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is about a time to sit back, and sort of reflect on where you are and what you've accomplished, and what you're thankful for. And I think we need to do that with Cure, because there's so much to be thankful for. And the community is really what that is. I mean, this community is what's driving this project. And so anyway, so the 50% off is a thank you. It's to say, hey, come on in, check out Cure, get involved, and you won't get the heavy taxes. And you can participate in Cure, buy and sell as you want for a period of time, and see what we're all about, and hopefully make some money, as I know a lot of people have over the past 48 hours here. So Thanksgiving is specifically about that. And I just want to finalize that statement by saying how grateful I am to even be in a position and have Cure in a position where we're attracting just so many people, and we're reaching all of these milestones. And we're not only reaching them, but we're getting them at such a rapid pace. And then we can start focusing on some of these longer term things. I mean, we just solidified a NASCAR sponsorship. Think about that. Two-month-old project, and we're buying out the entire 2022 NASCAR season. So anytime you go to NASCAR digital entities, whether it's the TV, website, mobile apps, you're going to see Cure. That says a lot about a project, and we're attracting a whole new audience because of that. So it's both rewarding and beneficial to people getting in now. I mean, this is just a small example, but we have so many things like that underway. I mean, even from a mainstream media perspective, we have a volunteer PR company out of New York that heard about our project and is like, we want to get involved. We love what you're doing. We want to support you. And now they've dedicated a full team, real world PR team to this. And they're working to get us on organically on Yahoo and Benzinga and Bloomberg and Forbes and all of these other types of magazines that other projects would have to pay for. And all of this is coming along organically because of our message and what we're really trying to do here and how we're doing it. So that it's just been so exciting to see all these people come in, community members as well, come in and say, you know what, I own a airline. Why don't we wrap it, our planes with Cure? Or I own a media agency in Latin America. Why don't we do a bunch of billboards? And people who come into the community are thinking like that. They're thinking, I have these resources around me. Why can't we leverage that to get the message out there and spread the message of Cure? And that's what's been happening. So it's just so different than any other project I've seen that they're able, Cure is able to attract that and get those people on board and really get them to help move the project forward. So again, rolling this all back to Thanksgiving, because that's why we're here. Thanksgiving is a time to be thankful. And I mean, I really can't be more thankful for just everything, the opportunities that have been presented, the project and the health of the project, where we are today and where we're going, and the community that's come on board. And all of that are reasons to like pause and step back and say, you know what, I'm thankful for this. And me more than anyone am extremely thankful. We're going to do so much good as a result of this movement and the result of the community. And that's at the end of the day just what drives me. That's what keeps me going is all of that and thinking about the future state.
Couldn't agree more. I do feel that it is the perfect time to be giving, and that's why we were happy to welcome you too, because we love the fact that every time you have something going, you think about our investors. And this is literally where you started growing. I mean, I don't mean that your project grew thanks to us, but when you came, you were still quite a small project, and now we can say that you are literally one of the big boys in BSC as of now, Jacob. Like, there are not a lot of projects standing and having a price floor of 30 million market cap as of now. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's been remarkable. Yeah, and it's been quite a journey, as you've seen throughout the process. I mean, I think the first time we met, it was prior to even hitting 10 million. I think we were like at 6 million market cap or something like that. And we were infant. I think we had 2,000 holders, something like that. And for us to have this growth over this period of time, it's pretty remarkable. And I think as people have discovered, as they come in, they realize this isn't a meme project that's just going to have a bunch of spikes and all that. This is a project that's going to be sustained, and we've proven that, and we've demonstrated that, and we're putting in all of the work necessary to make that occur. And we have a lot of people who believe in it, and a lot of people who believe in that future state. So I can't wait to come back here in 3-6 months or something like that and share the progress that we've made, because I just feel like every time we talk, we just leapfrog just further and further over where we think we're going to be, and we go so much further beyond what the expectations are.
completely right. Jacob, for me, I think we covered it all, as in the things we wanted to cover. I do want to leave it open for questions. We might have some of our investors wanting to talk to you directly. I was going to say face to face, but not really face to face. Almost like it, they are looking at you in the eye, anyways. So, guys, if you have any questions, please make sure you raise your hands. Make sure you click on that middle button you have there, where your microphone should be. I think RJ is going straight for one question. RJ, first off, super blessed to see you around.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, RJ?
Good. It's not really as much of a question. I just more or less wanted to thank you for actually being, I guess, professional and bringing your token to the next level. Like, I've seen quite a few of the AMAs where down the road the devs kind of just, I don't know, peter off and go out their own ways. But you have the life experience and the experience behind you to drive this token. I just think that's awesome, and hopefully big things come out from that.
Well, I appreciate that, RJ. Definitely do. And in reality, when I entered this space, I hadn't any experience of what others had done before me. I'm just doing what I know in business, and I'm just doing what I know as a person, and that's be authentic, be transparent, be honest at the end of the day. And it's I guess mind-boggling to me that people before me hadn't done that. And that's just the way I am, and that's the way I want this project to be driven. Is from a place of honesty, authenticity, and transparency. And I'm just grateful that you recognize that. I'm grateful to even be here. And I really do believe that we're not going to lose steam. We're not losing momentum. We're building momentum. So this is going to be a project that's going to be here a very long time, and I'm not going anywhere. I mean, this is becoming, as I said, my full-time job, because it's what matters most to me as a person is at the end of the day helping people, and this is what's going to enable that to occur.
Well, absolutely, and I think that separates you from the rest. So congratulations again on the success, and
Thank you, RJ.
Hopefully buy in when I can.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Sweet, RJ. As I said, this is a super long-term project. As in, next 5, 6, 10 years, you're probably going to see Cure around hospital database and stuff like that. So crypto is so young, guys. When you find a project like this in DeFi, you're just lucky to be here, to be honest. And you're going to be thinking in 10 years from now, saying, Benson told me. There are not a lot of projects like this, but this is literally what are these opportunities you have once in a lifetime? Because you are in the right place at the right time, and that's it. That's what I think about Cure, honestly. And I'm not biased. I'm not going for anything. I'm super honest. When I don't feel a project, you can see it in my eyes. But when it comes to Cure or a certain other projects that we promote, sometimes it is just honestly about taking the opportunity. That's it. That's how I feel about it. It's like when someone called Bitcoin in 2012, 2010. That was a great opportunity. Some people saw it, some people didn't. Some people are farsighted, some people are short-sighted. That's life. Anyways, thank you so much, Jay.
Some people regret selling, 1,000 Bitcoin at one point for under $100. I mean, that's just the reality of it. You like you said, you're short-sighted or you're long-sighted, and this is a project you need to think long-term, but you can still have wins along the way. This isn't a way open up your bag in 5 years or 10 years. This is something you can still be rewarded on along the way, and we're building in features to make it even more rewarding. But this is definitely a long-term project, and we're not going to be not going anywhere.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get Grossum going. I'm sure he's got a great question for us. Grossum, hello there. Happy to see you, mate.
How you doing? What I wanted to ask was basically, are you saying that at some point people could essentially hold an NFT that is their entire medical record and just send it to any doctor they want at any point?
Yeah. So yes. Now that is part of this. I mean, that's not exactly what we're working on, but I do know the people that are working on something like that, which is they call those EMRs, which are electronic medical records, and those records are currently they're trying to get them on the blockchain. There's been several organizations worldwide that have been trying to do that, but there's been a lot of failures in the execution. And actually a lot more failures on the adoption side. It's a consumer issue where consumers don't want their medical records accessible. And we've solved both of those problems through the dynamic NFT and how we're leveraging it, which is specifically for science, progress, and research. And that's the angle by which we're going to make a difference. So although some people are saying it would be great to take my wallet into my doctor and be able to go to any single clinic or pharmacy and have all my medical records out there, people don't really want that at the end of the day. They say they do, but they don't. But when it comes to research, people want it. People want to see progress. They want to see change. They want to see, disease go away. And they're willing to put themselves out there. And I'm not even saying from a face or name perspective, just put your information out there. And that's what we're building. It's the mechanism to enable that to occur anonymously and agnostically, where researchers can benefit from it. But through the power of NFTs, you can get rewarded and you still own and retain your data, which means you could be making a passive income throughout all of your life. While this is all getting accessed by research and scientists, you're making an income. And then even beyond, this is a generational NFT. NFTs don't expire when we die. NFTs continue on. So this would become an inheritable asset that could be passed on from generation to generation as data gets accessed. So that's the business model of how we reward consumers, you and I, and how we incentivize research. And then there's other complexities which are introduced into this that are solved through bounties and reward systems and other things for researchers. But we're building that mechanism. It's a research highway to enable this to occur. And it's really exciting. And people who hear about it, who are experts in this space, all feel that this was the magic bullet. The NFT, the residual income was the magic bullet to make this occur. And that's what's going to be the trigger to really take this to the next level.
That sounds excellent. Epic. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Grossum. That's great. Let's get one more question for you, Jacob, and then we'll just round it up as always. We have a lot to do. We're both busy men, so I definitely have a lot to do today. I still have a lot to do, and it's 9 p.m. already, so crazy. Next question, guys. Jacob, do you see anyone raising their hands? I don't know what's wrong with my laptop, but I don't see anyone raising their hands. Maybe they are not.
No, I don't see any other questions coming up immediately.
Maybe
Immortal and Napoleon.
Let's go for Immortal. I like to see him around. Hi, Immortal. How's it going, bro?
Yeah, Broski. I've not got any questions. I was just going to say there is people with their hands up. There is quite a few.
I don't
Gallery
see.
official,
Got it.
patience.
Let's go for Napoleon, which is the last one we saw. And then, guys, as I always say, if you have any questions, you got the links in there. They are more than happy to.
And Benson, you know, I'm probably the most accessible person in crypto. So if people have any follow-up questions, send me a DM. I swear I answer every single DM that comes in. And it might take me 30 seconds or 3 days, but every single one gets answered. Whether you're spamming me or not, everyone gets answered. So if you have any follow-up questions outside of this, definitely reach out to me. I mean, as I said, everything's about transparency, and I want to be there, you know. So reach out to me at any point, even after this.
Exactly, guys. Don't feel scared or don't feel like you're bothering. But he's super flexible and happy to answer your doubts, questions, and concerns in regards to the token. So, Immortal, thank you so much, brother. Love seeing you around as well.
Yeah, no, Broski. It's amazing to hear from the Cure team. As soon as I came in and read it, I was like, amazing token. I absolutely love what you're doing over there as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, mate. Love seeing you around. Hope to see you more often. Love you, mate. Napoleon, hello. How's it going?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my question.
Hello.
Jacob, thanks for all the information. It was really nice to hear about. I just have a curious question of why you guys maybe went the deflationary route. You know, as a charity-based token, you know, getting reflections for your charity based on volume. But if this were to grow exponentially, eventually you'd have less coins, and you know, maybe focusing on wanting investors to hold long term. I'm just kind of curious why deflationary token was the approach when maybe you guys would want to reap in more of those reflections for your charity-based performances.
Yeah, so that's a really great question. Probably one of the best questions I've been asked in an AMA is the reason why. And you know, I'm not going to have an eloquent answer for you. I mean, there's a couple points I want to make, but you know, at the end of the day, my experience in the crypto space prior to BSC coming into this space was Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and you can call it SafeMoon, you know, and that was it. And so learning what I knew back then and what the models were, this felt like the most natural model. And you know what I thought as well is through our tax system, we'd be able to support the charity initiatives, which is the 3% that comes in and out on buys and sells, and it's been able to do just that. But you're right. I mean, like, why did we pick that, and what's the future state look like? I can tell you that the future state of Cure is not deflationary at all. You know, it's something that we've been having a lot of conversations about, even outside of my community, when I'm talking with some of the blockchain leaders on how we actually execute this in a way that tokenomics can support the vision for the NFTs and the research, and it's going to have to be different. It can't be deflationary. So there's a lot of conversations about that and what that bridge looks like, and ensuring that people who get in now and have been in for a while keep their stake in the future, because that's super important to me. And you know, that's one of the most important things. And so lots of conversations happening about this, and I'd love to have actually deeper conversations. So if you have ideas on this, or not just a question, but more, you know, more feedback, or I guess perspective, I'd love to have a conversation with you and start talking through the future state of this.
Thanks. It was just more of a curiosity. But yeah, no, I really like the project.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, good. Well, Ben, we're nearing time here, and I have Thanksgiving dinner on the table. I'm so excited about it.
Jacob, I'm not going to take any more of your time. We already know each other. As I always say, and I really mean it, I don't say it for anything. I love hosting you. I love talking to you. I could talk to you for hours, mate. Honestly, we learned so much. We learned so much from you. We learned so much about everything regards to technology development and how to really manage a token, which is essential. If there are any devs here, you have a lot to learn from this man. Honestly, he's top notch.
Appreciate that, but no, I'm just a guy trying to do my thing at the end of the day, and that's it. So, but Benson, I truly appreciate you having us back on. You know, as I say, I mean, every time we come back here, I hope you can see my enthusiasm. I get more and more excited about where we're going. At first it was there's so many obstacles. Then we overcame those, and it's like, oh, well, we got this next thing. We overcome that. And I just feel like we're on such a good trajectory to get to that end state so fast, and that's what excites me. So I guarantee you, next time we're going to be having a conversation, we're going to have something massive underway or something massive completed, and I'm just looking forward to that. I wish we could fast forward time here and get to that point faster. But thank you for having me on. Appreciate it. I hope that everyone has a great Thanksgiving. And as I said before, Thanksgiving is a time to just be grateful for what we have. And I can't be more grateful for our community, what this project's accomplished, and where we're going. So just thank you, everyone in general. Just thank you, everyone. And I'll be back. In the future.
Of course you will. You better be, Jacob. As I said, we enjoy your company. So bon appetit. Have a lovely day, and then just keep doing what you're doing, Jacob. Your project is going far, is going places. Guys, Cure Token sitting at 30-ish million market cap. Easy billion token over here in the next probably not even a year or so. Sit tight, enjoy your holdings, long-term investment. Remember, don't take silly profits in this one. It's not even worth it. Just, hold, enjoy the process. Jacob's there. And that's it. Jacob, bon appetit again. You can go now. Don't worry.
All right. Well, thank you again for having me on.
Yeah, that's great, Jacob. We loved hosting you once again. Guys, thank you so much for assisting. Love your assistance as always. Happy Thanksgiving. We don't really celebrate Thanksgiving here in Europe, but it's lovely to be international. So anyways, Jacob, again, have a great one. Enjoy your family, enjoy your food, and I'll see you soon. Bye,
all right,
guys.
take care, everyone.
See you guys. As always, thank you for your assistance. We love having you. I'm not gonna lie. You are the best. Mick wants to ask a question. He's dozed dev, but Mick, you can talk to me in private. I'm gonna go now. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.